It's Friday, February the 3rd, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today Evening Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, a returning flight home for a 23-year-old Barbadian mother of two has become a horrifying memory due to what she claimed was the appalling treatment meted out to her and her disabled 2-year-old son. Mary Ann Powell boarded a JetBlue flight on January 27th at the Fort Lauderdale International Airport in the U.S. with her son Amari, who has been diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and her 4-year-old daughter Tiana. She told Barbados Today that just before takeoff, and as she sat with her son in her lap, that she was aggressively approached by flight attendants who shouted at her, ordering her to put her son on the seat next to her.
I said I won't be doing that. So then that's where the issue starts. She went and complained to the captain or whoever because the cockpit and everything was closer after the snow, and the plane get delayed for 25 minutes because of this foolishness. So the another flight attendant, a guy named Scott, he came to me and asked me how old the baby is. I said, well, the baby is 2. So then he was like, well, the baby gotta be on the seat because the rules and regulations of JetBlue is that once the passenger over 2, gotta be on the seat. I say, won't be doing that. So then he can tell me that if I complain, then they gotta ask me to disembark the plane.
JetBlue has since sent Powell an email apologizing over the incident. Miss Barbados Universe Shannon Harris is back home and in high spirits. Although not reaching the top at the international show, Harris says the experience in the Philippines has turned her into a new person.
Just on the pageant side of it all, it was so overwhelming to represent my country in such a big way, because Miss Universe is the top of the line pageant. You can't get any bigger from there. So to represent my country after 9 years and being chosen and everybody having the faith in me to do very, very well was amazing. And I was happy to know that Barbados actually could come together and be involved and be supportive in something all at once. And it made me very, very proud that it was surrounded around something that we don't necessarily usually take part in or we're not usually involved in. So I just want to say thank you for that.
A local leading road safety expert is suggesting that Barbadian drivers give up their rights on the roads if the country is to keep down the spate of fatalities. Former president of the Barbados Road Safety Association, Junior Jordan, was speaking on the heels of the country having recorded its 7th road death yesterday, compared to 10 for the whole of last year.
Even though other people around us make mistakes, once we adhere to the law and keep our vehicles under control, we can drive for the next 100,000 miles without a single incident. But always be willing to give up our right, even though we're right, in order to survive. We must be willing to do that, give up our right in order to survive.
This year's sugar crop is expected to start on Monday, with officials projecting a sugar yield of about 12,000 tons, more than double last year's output. Chairman of the Barbados Sugar Industry Limited, Patrick Bethel, told Barbados Today on the sidelines of a workshop on the sugar sector that talks with the Barbados Workers' Union were all but reached a settlement.
And we've met with the union, and we're meeting and currently have discussions with the Barbados Workers Union, and I would like to extend my appreciation to the union for their mature approach to this whole exercise. We have one small outstanding matter which I think will be resolved today, and given that, we've been assured from the union that we can start our crop on Monday, which is good news because we can be able to harvest the cane at a peak of perfection, and we will continue our discussions as mature people. You know, it's not a confrontational situation anymore. We are working as Barbadians for Barbados together, and we respect their inputs. We listen to them, they listen to us, and we come up with a solution.
Private sector officials are eager to see more investment being made in the local economy so that the average Barbadian can begin to benefit. Executive Director of the Chartered Accountants of Barbados, Reginald Farley, says officials across a range of industries are generally pleased with the 1.6% growth recorded last year. However, he says a lack of confidence is hindering more investments from taking place at this time.
The macroeconomic fundamentals are not what they should be, not what we're accustomed to in Barbados. So those of us who've been tracking this over the many years, we've fallen below our 12 weeks of foreign exchange cover target. We run government fiscal deficits for the past 7 years or so. So those who want to see what is the action that will be taken to correct this. So part of the trigger for further investment is really to ensure that we're on to a good footing, that when we make projections in our business plans, that we will not only be sure that we'll get a return of our investment, but a return on our investment for ourselves and our shareholders.
One university professor is not holding out hope for an improvement in the U.S.-Caribbean relations under the Trump administration. Robin Kelly, professor of American history at UCLA, was delivering the third Kamau Brathwaite lecture last night at the UWI-Cayfield campus. He spoke on the topic, Trumpism and the Crisis of Black America. In response to a question from the audience, Professor Kelly noted that it's only a matter of time before Washington's immigration and deportation policies are extended to the Caribbean immigrant policies.
Because the thing that we have to keep in mind, I should have mentioned this and it should be obvious to everyone, is that our immigration issue is not just Mexicans and Central Americans. It's an immigration issue that's very strong in the Caribbean, with Haiti, Dominican Republic, so we're going to see wars on immigrants that's going to extend to the black populations, the black immigrant populations, which people are trying to defend. So I don't see anything good coming out of it, but the question is, what is it, what can we do in solidarity to be able to build these relationships? When the Caribbean has been such a model of a pathway for certainly for African Americans about how we might look at a different future.
In sport, basketball great Magic Johnson has returned to the Los Angeles Lakers as an advisor to owner Jeannie Buss. The Lakers are struggling again this season after 3 years of decline in which they have posted the worst results in their history. Three-time most valuable player, Johnson spent his entire 13-year NBA career with the Lakers, winning 5 championships with the franchise.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Read all about it, read all about it. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Let's get your paper.
You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados today on my phone and I just get my news for free. What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In regional news now, police in Trinidad and Tobago have shot and killed a wanted man. Joel Charles is now dead following a shootout with police earlier today. He was wanted in connection with 2 murders and had multiple outstanding warrants. A Taurus pistol and rounds of ammunition were recovered at the scene. And on the global front, the Trump administration is imposing new sanctions on Iran following its recent ballistic missile test. The U.S. Treasury Department announced the measures against 13 people and a dozen companies today.
The Trump administration is continuing the practice of the Obama administration in cracking down on any companies or individuals who are in any way connected to missiles. Now, this is coming directly in response to the testing of those ballistic missiles that started on Sunday. Now, this is something that the Trump administration is going very hard after them on. But this is a quote from someone at the Treasury Department. Let me read this to you, Carol. It says, Iran's continued support for terrorism and development of its ballistic missile system poses a threat to the region, to our partners worldwide, and to the U.S. So today's action is part of the Treasury's ongoing efforts to counter Iranian nuclear activity.
And that's news and the sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic weekend.